All right, first of all, I just want to thank all of our veterans. I know today was a big day from that standpoint, and I've got so much respect for those that serve and have served and give us the freedoms that we have. I told the team before the game, like, you can talk about, noon kickoff, rain, cold. If you need any motivation at all, I told them in this in the locker room before the game, just when you go back out, look up in the upper deck. And the entire upper deck is filled with servicemen and women that protect our country and give us freedom. So they came out here on a cold, rainy day to sit in the upper deck and support us. So apologize for my language, kids, but those are some bad asses up there as well. And I told our team that, and I've got so much respect for them. Appreciate those guys and the energy men and women that they created up there in the upper deck also. So thanks to them and all that have served and continue to serve as well. Proud of our team. It was sloppy first half, disappointing with the start in a lot of ways, self-inflicted for that game to be, I think it was 13-0 at halftime. And we go in there at halftime, I think we've got 3 drops at that point. We got 2 offsides penalties. We got a false start. We got a kickoff out of bounds, a lot of self-inflicted things, just playing sloppy. But I told them that, we need to be a team that gets better as the game goes. And then we went out in the second half, I'm trying to get my math right, 34-6 in the second half. We outscored them. That's awesome. For us to just come in there, it would have been very easy to come in there and just kind of take a breath and say we're up 13-0, we're playing okay, and we're in good shape. We came out there and got better as the game went and had a great fourth quarter. So some really good individual efforts, and proud of our guys to get this one. The whole goal this week was to be better this week, today, than what we were last Saturday, and we were in all 3 phases. We don't talk about the opponent a lot, and but for us, it was we needed to be better, and we certainly were. And then we know we're going to need to be better next Saturday night back here in our stadium as well. So I want to thank the fans that were out there today as well for bringing a lot of energy and juice to that stadium. I saw the little bit popping around on social media of the young student from last week with the 12 noon kickoff and his mentality, and I saw a lot of that down in the cockpit down there as well. So shout out to him and the rest of our students that were here today. Appreciate you, and we're going to need that cockpit and that entire stadium absolutely rocking next Saturday night as well. Injury-wise, really the only significant one is Juju McDowell. He'll be done for the rest of the season. Broke his collarbone, unfortunately. Heart breaks for that kid, but he'll be out the next 2 weeks, and then he'll come back stronger than ever. And hate it for him. Obviously, our running back situation right now is a concern with DeCarrion being out right now and Juju. So that's why DJ Braswell and Mario Anderson were in there so much today as well. Need those guys to continue to go on. But, hate it for Juju. He brings so much energy. But what a testament to that kid that as soon as, he breaks his collarbone, and then I look out there on the field and he's out there trying to motivate the team and during a timeout on the sideline at the end of the first quarter. So he's awesome, and he's a great energy booster for our football team as well, and will continue to be also. So questions? David still gets the first one after missing last week. He's not on probation or anything.
It's unavoidable. Shane, a couple for you. Just with how much did the weather affect? You obviously some drops and things like that, but as the game goes on, does the ball start to feel heavier, more slick, that kind of thing? And 2, is it now going to be standard that you have a big guy touchdown for your first score every game?
1, I think certainly the weather was an issue. There's no excuse. They do a good job. If we need a dry ball, they get a dry ball in. So the officials do a great job from that standpoint. No excuse to have a bad snap. No excuse to have 5 drops on the day or 6, whatever it ended up being. We've got Vanderbilt was playing in the same element, so we've got to be able to make those plays. But certainly the ball does get heavy and it's sloppy and just not a great day for throwing. We knew takeaways and ball security was going to be key, even more so because of that, and thought those guys did a good job. And my problem right now, David, is now all the defensive players went in on the action. So before Tonka even got to the sideline, DQ Smith is in my ear about a play for him next week. So we've created a monster, but we're able to do that with Tonka and Boogie because they're good athletes. And, we've seen it with Tonka on some of the stuff we do on extra points, and Boogie on that route. He actually ran a really good route and got a good release off the line, and has done a done a good job. So that's the same play we used against. We called it against A&M. That's a touchdown that we threw to Simon, I think. And Boogie was on the backside, but he did a nice job this week on that.
Hey, Shane, you've been talking all season about telling guys, hey, make plays. How satisfying is it for you? You saw guys making plays, offense, defense, special teams today.
Yeah, Rick, we literally just talked about that and gave out some game balls, and it went to guys that made a lot of individual plays. Josh Simon, some awesome individual efforts, just breaking tackles, running through people when he didn't have much help around him, making a play as well. Mario Anderson, his long touchdown run. Reminded me a lot of that play that CBS had last year against them up in Nashville on a short yardage play. But, Mario, just to continue to compete and come out of that was awesome. Keenan Nelson blocking a punt, and then not just blocking it, but picking it up and scoring. We gave a game ball in there to Bam Scott. He had a sack, and then immediately after that last touchdown, or second to last touchdown, he runs downfield and makes a tackle on the 16-yard line and made a great play. So I saw a lot of individual efforts. We got a lot of good players on this team, and we need our best players and all of our guys to continue to make plays. And saw a lot of them out there today. And like I said, there'll be a lot to correct off this tape, but there'll be a lot of really great effort that we saw on this tape also when we watch it later.
With the blocked punt, I mean, you've talked about you guys being close on that a couple times recently. Just what did you feel like kind of clicked on that one, and what was sort of the reaction seeing him pick it up and run it in?
Yeah, to me, that's another one. Like we like the plan that we had with what we were doing. Vanderbilt's good on special teams, and they're very multiple in what they do. And really, to me, it kind of goes back to what David just asked. The elements were a factor on that one. When you're snapping the ball, that ball gets a little heavy, and the velocity just isn't what it is. Plus, you worry about fielding a punt as a returner back there. So it was one of those that, a slower snap because the ball is heavy. Operation-wise, you feel like you're going to be able to get back there and make something happen. And our guys did a good job of executing, and it was good to see because we have been close. Really should have blocked one early in the game. Probably should have blocked about 3 today. We had one where I still don't know how we didn't block it. Kind of the same thing as the A&M game, but we work a lot at it, and it was good to see those guys make a play, and it brought a lot of energy to the sideline as well. You saw how excited those guys were for not just Keenan, but for us to make a play on special teams like that and defense. That was really cool to see, Emily. Today, Emily, was just the offense, defense, special teams, everybody celebrating for one another. When there was some adversity early with playing sloppy, everybody just stayed together and continued to bring energy, and it was really cool to see throughout the day.
I know how difficult it is to win each week, but when a game opens up like that, what does it do for you guys as coaches to be able to, I don't know if experiment is the right word, but to see some different things, and also for the players just to kind of empty the bench?
Yeah, no, it's good. You want to be able to get as many guys in there as you can, and to be able to get Bradley Dunn in there for a carry at the end of the game, and to see a guy like Joseph Burns to go downfield and cover a kickoff, and then get to play defense. Saw a lot of young guys that came in there and did some really good things. So happy for those guys, and that's what it's all about. These guys, everybody on our team, not just the ones that have a regular role playing on Saturdays, but everybody on our team, they work really, really hard, and you want to give them the opportunity to play when you can. And we had that against Furman, and it's obviously been a while since then as well. So anytime you can have a game like that, it's really fun, John, just to see the joy on the sidelines with guys, and how guys are cheering and supporting one another and happy for one another. We got I've said it before, but we got a really good group of young men on our team, and that was evident today.
The first time defensively that you've held an opponent under 20, let alone 6, and it seemed to be some schematical tweaks on the defense. What was the message this week heading into Vanderbilt?
One, Vanderbilt's a challenge to prepare for. Shepard, the receiver, is a really good receiver, highly decorated. They've improved at the receiver position. They got a veteran offensive line, and then the fact that they've got 3 quarterbacks, including a 6'7", 240-pound guy that can run it. They present challenges to you. So for us, it was going back, just continuing to get better, without a doubt. Starts with stopping the run. Thought we played with great competitive spirit and physicality today. And then schematically, we pressured them like we've been doing a little bit more of here recently. And I would say the only thing schematically is we continued to evolve that. 3 down package that we have where we started it with A&M. We were always, playing our base coverages and bringing pressure with it. And then we've kind of evolved to where this week we did a little bit of the same package, but just played some drop 8 coverage with it, where we essentially had kind of 3 safeties back there, and then did a good job of disguising and just playing fast. So nice credit Clayton and our defensive staff for putting a good plan together, and really good job overall, because that is a team, like I said, that they've scored some points against people and present challenges to you.
You mentioned some individual efforts. What about Xavier going over 1,000 yards? It hasn't happened too much in this program for him, but just the season and hit that mark today.
Yeah, that was big. I should have known that. I didn't know that. It's 2 weeks in a row I've screwed that up, where he had 200 yards receiving last week and didn't get a game ball and went over 1,000 and had 9 catches. So proud of him. Like I said, just he works hard and deserves everything that he's getting. Get what he's doing, and we need him to continue to play well down the stretch for us, without a doubt.
There weren't, too many missed tackles or defensive penalties today. How much of the 6 points, the great performance, was just about the effort kind of being at the spot, and was it where you wanted it to be?
Was it where it wanted it to be? Yeah, it was definitely good. There wasn't a play out there where I thought like we weren't flying around and playing with great energy. And I know I came in here last Saturday and talked about that we're going to celebrate the win, but we're going to correct a lot and hold guys accountable. And we did. Last Sunday was probably not a very pleasant meeting, because there was, frankly, some examples on tape last week in all 3 phases that we weren't playing with the effort that we expect here. And, we told our guys yesterday, like, we'll tweak certain things, practice schedule, meeting schedule, Friday night schedule at the hotel, just to help them. But one thing we don't tweak around here is the effort that we play with. And we needed to see that today. And they flew around. And when you do that, when you know what to do and you're able to play with great energy and play fast and with great effort, good things are going to happen.
Career day for Bam Martin-Scott today. What did you see from him in practice this week? And maybe do you have an indicator that was coming? And also, where does he kind of fit in that kind of 3-down package you're talking about with the coverage?
Yeah, Bam's a guy. He's just a really good football player. He does a good job on special teams, and he and Juice are roommates. So certainly that's a fun, conversations that I usually have with those 2 guys. And Juice tells Bam where he stands and what he sees, good and bad. So Juice, I think, has been on him about continuing to make plays and things like that as well. And we see it in practice. So kind of like Leggett, he practices the right way and does some good things and flew around. He's a really good football player. And then as far as his role, I mean, he is that 3-down package. He and Jaron Willis are the guys that we sub one of them in, and sometimes we have them both on the field. But if we're in that 3-down package, not like True Odd, but the 3-down package that we unveiled against A&M, Bam is like the starter in that, and that's just a way for us to get our better athletes on the field. And Bam's done it. I mean, the last play of the A&M game last year, he's the one that hit the quarterback when they had it when they were throwing it at the end zone. So he's a guy he's athletic, he's got pass rush ability. And really, for us, coming out of that Missouri game, we've got to figure out a way to get our athletes on the field and allow them to affect the quarterback more. And Bam certainly fits the bill for that.
I was going to say, you mentioned earlier about young players getting an opportunity. Obviously, Norris Sellers came into. I'm over here.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. No, you're all good.
No, you're good. It wasn't yours. I was looking right there.
No, you're fine. But yeah, like you mentioned, you got a lot of young players into the game towards the end. I just want to talk about Norris Sellers. And first, what did you see from him? When you had him in after leaving Spencer Rattler had that 36-yard run. And also, what did you see from him? During practice. To have enough faith in him to give him that opportunity.
Yeah, he's a weapon. Go back to the Furman game, when he's come in the game, good things have happened. So credit him to do like he did, and I think it goes back to how he prepares and how he practices. I'm in those quarterback meetings every day, and Dow coaches Lenoris in those meetings and holds him accountable, just like he's Spencer Rattler. So some of those plays that Lenoris had were checks where Lenoris has to know that we're running this play or that play based on how Vanderbilt lines up. And he knew that because of his preparation during the week. And then I see it in practice also. He splits time during practice with the offense and then also with the scout team a little bit as well. So he certainly presents problems to our defense when he goes over there, and then continues to get better as a quarterback. So happy for him, and he's a great young man, and happy to see him get out there and have some success today. Didn't expect him to pull that ball. We really just wanted to hand the ball off and let our running backs keep it, but he did.
One thing Vanderbilt's offense has done pretty well this year is hit on big plays, and I thought the secondary did a pretty good job of getting to the passes, breaking a lot of passes up.
Yeah.
What did you see from them, and what kind of development have you seen from your safeties and corners this year leading up to this performance today?
Yeah, you're exactly right. They have hit on some big plays. They had a lot of them coming into the game, and knew that was going to be a challenge. Stop the run and don't give up big plays. And they did do a good job. They continue to, continue to put them in position to make plays, and they do. I think they did a good job of disguising coverages today. We've got to continue to develop depth back there as well, so it's not just the starting five, but when we're able to be a little bit multiple on defense and mix the coverages up, and then also being able to get pressure on the quarterback, that helps. I mean, it all ties together, and when the quarterback's not able to sit back there all day, it certainly helps DBs. When they got to cover all day, it's going to be a challenge for them.
Coach, just wanted to ask you about Trey Knox. I know you said he was available coming into this game. Did you hold him out as a precaution because of the field conditions, or was it Joshua Simon's play was a little bit of both?
I'd say a little bit of both. He was available. He practiced on Thursday. Trey did. When we met as a staff this morning at the hotel at 7, what we said was, would love to not have to use him. Let's see how the game is going. Let's see how Trey feels in pregame warmups. And if we did use him today, it was going to be more of just, maybe situational football, third down, red zone, things like that as well. But we didn't need him. We used John Darius Morgan, one of our offensive linemen. We used him as kind of an extra tight end for blocking today, and didn't have to. So Trey, credit him for working hard this week to get in position to play if we needed him today. But we just didn't feel great about putting him in there.
With Juju out, where would you guys go from running back from here in terms of backup? I mean, does Dunn, does Twitty, who kind of takes that third or fourth spot?
Yeah, it's a good question. We got to figure that one out. That's why on that last drive, I told Monterio, get Braswell out of the game, get Mario out of the game. We're down. We've got 4 scholarship running backs on our team, and we got 2 of them that are out right now. Yeah, so it's certainly critical. We're in a critical situation from that standpoint. But, Bradley Dunn's a guy that we got confidence in, and DJ Twitty's a guy that we've got confidence in. And certainly, we've got to be able to, if we can continue to throw like we're doing and throw for 350 yards like we did today, that'll help without a doubt. But certainly we got to be smart and make sure we're getting our best guys on the field. But it's a challenge. I wish I had a good answer for you right now.
And possible for Joyner to come back next week, or do you know yet?
I think it's possible. Yeah, he. I'd say as we sit here today, I'd say it's doubtful. But I'm never going to doubt to carry on from that standpoint. He wants to, and he'll do everything in his power to get back. And he's in great spirits, and like Juju bringing energy to carry on, did that today as well.
Also saw at the end of the game, Hunter was kind of on the field there. Do you need a get-back guy for him as well?
I need a get-back guy for him. The official told him to get back. I brought him out there just to hang out with me, and the official came over and told him to get back a little bit.
Take 2 more. Go ahead.
Your special teams unit has come so close this year with just getting after punch, and you finally get a hold of one. Even had several different occasions before the block punt. Thoughts on how we finally got to it?
Yeah, just continuing to be aggressive. We mix up calls, and whether it's rush, whether it's return, whether it's a combination rush and return, continue to mix it up. And I thought we did a better job today because Vanderbilt, they line up different ways and make you prepare for a lot. They don't line up today. They did, I think, but for going into this game, they give you different formations and you've got to adjust to it. So we needed to be locked into what our plan was and what our responsibility was. And I thought those guys did a really good job of executing and getting one there at the end. And, we got to continue to be better with kickoff return and field goal. We missed a field goal and had a bad snap. So it was like every phase, it's going to be a lot to clean up. But anytime you can score on special teams, it gives you a great opportunity to win the game.
Hey, Shane, going back to holding guys accountable, I know Boogie is one of those guys, one of your leaders. And what does it mean, or how impressive can that be to the younger guys when you see a guy who not only vocalizes it, but goes out and has a game like he did today, making plays on both sides of the ball?
Yeah, we need our older players, our best players, to play well down the stretch, and he's doing that offensively and on defense, and doing a great job being a leader. And credit him too. Like Boogie got hurt in practice earlier this week, and it was after the press conference. So I was being honest with you guys, but he got rolled up on Wednesday, I guess, and. Not take it back, I lied to you. He got rolled up on Tuesday, finished, but then after the press conference and when he came in on Wednesday, he did not look good. And he was actually rolling around our building on a scooter yesterday. And then he did a little bit more in practice on Thursday and felt good. But coming out of practice on Wednesday, we weren't sure how available he was going to be. So credit him, just his toughness to fight through it. And I think part of was the motivation of knowing he may catch a touchdown pass, because we went out there and practiced on Thursday, Rick, and we weren't even sure if he was going to be able to practice. And then we practiced that offensive play, and I'd already told them, hey, let's get TJ or somebody else in there. And I look out there, and Boogie's running the rep full speed. I'm like, well, I guess he's okay, because he knows he may catch a touchdown. But in all seriousness, it's a great testament to his mental and physical toughness to do everything, whatever it takes to be out there and perform on Saturday. Thank you, Coach. All right, y'all enjoy your weekend.